tomorrow at noon for Game 3. Please remember when you leave to throw any trash in a nearby can or receptacle. Thank you for your commitment to keeping Wells College a clean environment. Please enjoy the game.
Game number 2 of the doubleheader and game 2 of the 3-game set between the Express and the SUNY Poly Wildcats, ready to get underway here from Aurora, New York. SUNY Poly took game 1 of the doubleheader by a score of 6-3. 2 of the 3 runs for the Express came on the long ball homers from Max Odom and Jacoby James. Dominant performance in the mound on the Wildcat side from Jack Montaigne. Bullpen shut it down for the Express, but it was just a little too late after some early inning struggles, and it's time for game number 2. Mike Nascimento out on the mound for the Express. Here's the lineup he'll face. Parker Wing, the grad student, and shortstop leads it off. Ryan Pelton at third base. Carter Romansky is the first baseman hitting third. Ethan Walker doing the cleanup. He's the DH. Ethan Marone in left field hitting fifth. Brody Liddy is in right field for his collegiate debut hitting sixth. Will Orlando hitting seventh. He's the catcher. Kurt Johnson in center field hitting eighth, hitting ninth. Rounding out the order, Derek Menachino with Aaron Kiefer on the mound. Nascimento toes the slab, comes home with the first pitch. It's fouled down the right field line and out of play by Parker Wing. And we are underway in game number 2 of this doubleheader between the Express and the Wildcats after Wells dropped to 3-2 on this season with the loss in game 1 of the doubleheader. Second pitch from Nascimento was a called strike on the inside corner to the grad transfer in Wing. To make it 0-2, Nascimento, the closer last season for the Express, moving to the starting rotation now as the 0-2 breaking ball upstairs makes it 1-2. Nascimento sporting number 42 in the pinstriped all-white home uniforms for the Express. From Waretown, New Jersey, the sophomore kicks and fires. 1-2, breaking ball low and out. To even it up now against Wing, the grad transfer, who reached base on a pair of walks, also scored 2 runs in game 1 of the doubleheader for the Wildcats. Here's Nascimento's 2-2 offering. Fastball inside, called strike 3. Nips the inside corner. And Wing goes down looking for the first out of this ball game coming in the top of the first by the backwards K.
Next up for the Wildcats, number 15, Ryan Pelton.
Brings up Ryan Pelton. And from the right-handed batter's box, a native of Ontario, Canada, who bloops this one up the middle. Behind the second base bag is the shortstop, maybe floundering behind the second base bag. Picks it up, throws across the diamond, and in time, picking up the ground ball for out number 2. The strikeout and the ground out, that brings up Carter Romansky.
For SUNY Poly, number 19. Number 14, Carter Romansky.
Romansky, another grad student on this roster, takes a fastball just low for a ball. Had an RBI double last game and reached base all 4 plate appearances. 2 walks, was hit by a pitch, and the double. This one skied on the left side of the infield. Foul ground, giving chase is the third baseman, James. He runs out of room a few feet over the fence in front of the Wildcats dugout. And it's 1-1. As Nascimento at the belt, kicks and deals, 1-1 breaking ball low to make it 2-1 on Romansky. The two-way star who had a sub-4 ERA last season on the bump for the Wildcats. In addition to hitting over 300, 2-1 breaking ball from Nascimento was low. And it goes 3-1. Nascimento, the closer last season, as we mentioned, for the Express, transitioning into the starting pitcher role this season as the 3-1. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. A lot of confidence in that off-speed to throw it late in a count, as we've seen in 2 recent at-bats, including 3-1 there. Gets a chase. Makes it through it 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball again. Rolled foul off the facing the Wells dugout on the first base side. Nascimento took the loss in his first start of the season, coming against Elmira last Friday. but looking to bounce back here in his second collegiate start. Had 4 saves last year, which led the United East Conference. And the 3-2. Rolled on the right side of the infield. It's the second baseman, Odom. Ranging to his left, scoops it up, and throws onto first in time for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Mike Nascimento in his second start for the Express. And that brings us to the bottom of the first with zeros across the scoreboard. And that will bring the Express bats to the plate. On the other side for the Wildcats on the mound, it will be Aaron Kiefer, the junior right-hander from Niagara Falls, New York. And he was an all-conference pick last season for the Wildcats and a star on the mound. 50 innings, 4.8 ERA with 26 strikeouts after he had a pretty strong freshman campaign as well with a 4.11 ERA. And he gets his first start of the season against this lineup for the Express. It's Max Odom who leads it off playing second base. Zach Odom in center field. Jacoby James, who had a pair of extra base hits, including a solo homer in Game 1. James hits third. Doing the cleanup, Aaron Izquierdo. He's the DH. Lance Phillips hitting fifth. He's the right fielder. A.J. Campy getting the start. The freshman is in left field. Bradley Mills gets his first game of the season behind the plate. He's a junior hitting seventh. James Camacho is the first baseman hitting eighth. And rounding out the order is the shortstop for the Express, Mark Mabey, with Nascimento, who we already talked about on the mound. As Aaron Kiefer gets his warm-up pitches, here's what the defense behind him looks like. Left to right in the outfield, it's Marone Johnson and Liddy. Ryan Pelton's the third baseman. Parker Wing is the shortstop. Derek Menachino, is the second baseman. Romansky at first. And doing the catching is Will Orlando, a freshman in his collegiate debut. And to lead it off for the Express in the bottom of the first, it's Max Odom, who had this solo homer in Game 1 of the doubleheader, accounting for one of the 3 runs for the Express as part of a 1-for-4 day for Odom. As Kiefer toes the rubber from the windup, kicks and deals. First pitch is off the back of Odom, a hit batsman on pitch number 1. Wells' dugout loves it. And a free 90 to start off this game and bring up Max's twin brother, Zach. Zach with 10 RBIs in 5 games this season, 0 for 4 in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Looking to get back on track. Takes a fastball up and out from Kiefer to go 1-0. Zach had 6 RBIs in Game 1 of the season for the Express against Clark Summit in a 3-for-5 day. As the 1-0. Fastball outside, 2-0. Had a 2 RBI, 3-for-5 performance against Elmira last Friday. Speed demon on the bases. All-conference second team last year. As the 2-0 from Kiefer is skied, foul down the right field line, and out of play over the Express dugout. A 6-3 Game 1 win for the Wildcats, but they were out-hit by the Express. The Express had 5, including 2 homers. 4 hits for the Wildcats, but a big piece of Polly's success came off the walks, the free 90s, and a few errors on the Express side as the 2-2 foul back. Kiefer peers over to Odom at first base and throws over. Back with a dive, and well ahead of the throw is Max, following being hit by a pitch. Kiefer working for the first time with the freshman catcher Will Orlando. Long pause, comes home with the 2-2. Fastball upstairs, but it's fouled off. Ball at the eye level of Odom. Gets a piece of it off the backstop. And it stays right there, 2-2. Wells looking to get the bats hot on this brisk afternoon. Early March baseball in Aurora. Kiefer sets, fires, 2-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Odom takes the bats off his shoulder, but does not offer it the pitch. Wildcats wanted to check over to the second base umpire, but it's indeed 3-2. Strong at-bat put up so far by Odom. Here's the payoff. It's blooped into shallow center field. Coming in is Johnson. He's not going to get there. Reaches him on a hop. Max moves up a station, and it's a single for Zach Odom. So runners on first and second to start off this game and bring up the dangerous Jacoby James. James went 2 for 3 in game 1 with a solo homer and a double. A blazing hot start to the season after he was named the AMCC Player of the Week last week. Here it is. First pitch, lined into left center field. That'll get down for a base hit, split the outfielders, and roll all the way to the wall. Max scores easily. Zach around third. He scores. It's a 2-run double for Jacoby James. Stay red hot. He's now 12 for 21 on the young season with 10 RBIs. What a start. 5 games in for Jacoby James, and the Express have themselves a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Aaron Izquierdo digs in from the right side. Healthy leadoff second for James as Kiefer peers over. Now comes home. First pitch to Izquierdo. Fastball just up and out for a ball. Long pause from Kiefer. Western New York native winds and deals 1-0 is low to make it 2-0 on Izquierdo. From Palisades Park, New Jersey. Here's the 2-0. Breaking ball skied right side of the infield. Foul ground, giving chase in front of the Wells dugout and making the catch. Very nice play by the catcher, Orlando, just in front of the fence opening in the Wells dugout. And that's out number 1. So that will bring up Lance Phillips. In right field, after he was in left in game 1, went 0 for 3 at the plate. Looking for some redemption here. Kiefer peeks over to second base. Runner in scoring position off the bag in James. First pitch. He has a called strike on the inside corner to Phillips. Phillips went 2 for 3 with an RBI in the opener versus Clark Summit. He's been relatively quiet since. The utility man who played 5 different positions on the field last season for Wells. Here's the 0-1. Skied foul down the right field line, out of play. And it's 0-2 with A.J. Campy, the freshman, looming in the on-deck circle. Kiefer peers over at second, comes home 0-2. Driven down the left field line. It's in the infield. It'll be backhanded by Wing at shortstop in the 6-hole. Throws across the diamond. It's not in time. An infield single for Lance Phillips. And runners on first and second for the Express with A.J. Campy coming to the plate. The freshman from South Plantation, Florida. Getting his third start of the season. Didn't start the first two. Campy takes a call strike at the bottom of the zone. Came off the bench for pinch hit opportunities against Clark Summit and Elmira. And went 1 for 4 with an RBI against Canton in game 1 of the doubleheader. A 6-7 win for the Express last Saturday down in Washington, D.C. 0-1 to Campy. Is driven into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. James gets the wave around third. The throw is cut off, and James slides in safely. 3-0, Wells on top on the RBI single from A.J. Campy. Phillips moves up to second base. The inning extends, and the Wells bats are hot to start off this ball game. Bradley Mills up to the plate now after the first three batters of this game. The Odom twins and then Jacoby James all coming around to score. And that'll bring up Bradley Mills, the junior from Waretown, New Jersey. But first, coming out for a mound meeting, the pitching coach for the Wildcats. Mills getting his second start of the season behind the plate. Went 0 for 4 in his first start against Canton. Also coming in game 1 of that doubleheader that Wells took 7-6. 0-1, fastball, inside corner called strike. Mills, the junior, getting some playing time behind Aaron Izquierdo, who's the DH today. As Kiefer, with runners on first and second, comes home the 0-1. Breaking ball, called strike. Nips the outside corner. 0-2 now. Sole out in this inning came on a pop-up to the catcher. Fastball up over the head of Mills. Pulls the bat down. And it's 1-2. Phillips off of second. Campy off of first after the RBI single. Kiefer sets. Delivers. 1-2. Breaking ball sky high on the infield. Foul ground. Just in front of the Express dugout. Unable to make the play is the catcher Orlando, who is ranging just in front of the Express dugout on the first base side. Right in that opening gate where the players come in and out of. Lost track of it. It'll stay 1-2. Another life for Mills. Kiefer peers over to second base. Comes home with the 1-2 offering. Another breaking ball fouled off behind home plate. And another strong at bat. 4 hits already in the inning for the Express. And 3 runs across on the 2 RBI double from Jacoby James and the RBI single by A.J. Campy. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball chopped on the left side of the infield. It's going to be the third baseman, Pelton, who just tags James out on his way to third base. James was sliding in, but they'll go the easy way. Or, excuse me, that was Phillips on his way to third base. Tagged out for the second out, so first and second still. This time it's Campy and Mills with 2 outs. And James Camacho, the sophomore first baseman, stepping into the right-handed batter's box. Here's the first pitch. Fouled off. Gets a piece of it. Goes to the backstop behind home plate. Camacho from Huntington, New York. The utility man. Seeing some time at first base today. Check swing on the 0-1. Inside, didn't go around. And it's 1-1. Camacho from Huntington, New York, attended St. Dominic High School, and has seen time at a whole lot of different positions in the field, playing in 16 games last year. Here's the 1-1. Fastball just outside, and it goes to 2-1. With 2 outs and runners off of first and second. Here it is. Fastball up and in. Camacho ducks out of the way of some chin music. 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. Foul it off again down the right side of the fencing behind home plate. 3-2 count now, and a strong at-bat by Camacho. Kiefer sets. Peers over at second, comes home with the 3-2. And Camacho gets a piece on it again off the netting behind home plate. And it stays full. Kiefer sets, fires, 3-2 again. This one nubbed on the right side of the infield. It'll be the first baseman, Romanski. Picks it up, steps on the bag, and takes it himself just ahead of Camacho to end the inning. But not before. 3 runs come across on 4 hits, highlighted by the 2-run single from Jacoby James. 3-0, Wells on top as we head to the second. Back at the top of the second, Mike Nascimento back onto work for the Express. And he'll face 4-5-6. Ethan Walker leads it off. First pitch dribbler on the left side of the infield. It's going to be Odom, the second baseman on the right side of the infield, I should say, who picks it up on the easy ground ball, throws on it first for the out. 4 straight retired by Mike Nascimento to start off this ball game, including the strikeout of Parker Wing as Ethan Marone, the left fielder, steps up in the right-handed batter's box. And the first pitch, fastball low. Marone with the two RBI double. The key hit in a Poly victory in game 1 of the doubleheader. Fastball away again. It makes it 2-0 on Marone, the sophomore. As Nascimento's 2-0 offering. This time low and out. It's 3-0. First three batters of this ball game scored for the Express in the Odom Twins and Jacoby James. James had the 2 RBI double, which knocked the Odom Twins home, and then A.J. Campy with the RBI single to finish the job. Fastball just off the plate for a ball. 4-pitch walk with 1 out coming to Ethan Marone. First base runner of the game for the Wildcats, and Brody Liddy steps up from the right-handed batter's box for his first collegiate at-bat. Liddy, the freshman, one of 4 freshmen in the lineup today for the Wildcats. First pitch, that's laced out to deep left field. Campy heads towards the wall, and it's foul. First pitch of Liddy's career, the freshman from Horseheads, New York. He'll probably remember that as being 5 feet to the left of the foul pole. Just missing a home run down the left field line. Just a long strike, it's 0-1. First, a pickoff attempt over at first. Gets away from the first baseman. Camacho rolls all the way down the line. Rolling to cut it off is Phillips. Big turnaround. Second, on his way to third is Marone. Slides in safely. 2-base error goes against Nascimento on an errant pickoff attempt throw. We saw that happen 2 different times. One by a Poly player, one by an Express pitcher in game 1 of this doubleheader. Just a pickoff attempt that scurried all the way down the first base line towards the foul pole and allowed a runner to go from first to third. Now Nascimento sets. Dangerous territory with a runner 90 feet away and an 0-1 count on Liddy. Fastball inside, and it's 1-1. "11 appearances, a 5.4 ERA with 15 strikeouts last year for Nascimento. As the 1-1 breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. To go 1-2 on Liddy. And now Nascimento in that starting pitcher role. Looking to undertake a big load of innings this season. As the 1-2 goes back to the curveball. This one's hammered out to left field. Taking a few steps out now, a few in is Phillips. It'll be deep enough to tag as the throw is cut off by James, the third baseman. And a sac fly for Liddy. Gets his first career RBI as Marone comes all the way around to score. And technically, that is a run, an unearned run, but it does go against Nascimento in terms of the error. First pitch ball as it's 3-1 with the Wildcats on top now. After Liddy's sac fly, Will Orlando steps into the right-handed batter's box. And the 1-0 waved on it, missed on the off-speed, makes it 1-1. Orlando splitting time behind the plate with another freshman in Ventier, who started game 1 of this doubleheader. As the 1-1 check swing breaking ball in the dirt didn't go around and could not get Orlando to chase. We talked about it, a very young group on this Poly team. Manicino, Johnson, Orlando, Liddy. That's 4 freshmen, and then 2 sophomores in Pelton and Marone in the lineup. 2-1. Breaking ball upstairs. And with 2 outs and the base is empty, Here comes the 3-1 from Nascimento. Fastball called. Strike on the outside corner. Orlando doesn't love the call. He tossed his bat towards the on-deck circle, ready to take his base. Instead, he'll have to step back in with a 3-2 count. Here's the payoff. Fastball upstairs for ball 4. So second walk in the inning for Nascimento. Struggled with command in his first game of the season as well, where he walked 3 in 3 innings of work. And now Kurt Johnson, after he started game 1, reached on an error, had himself a sac bunt. It's about all. Laces that one back up the middle for a base hit. Moving up a station is Orlando. 3 base runners in the inning, and now runners on first and second with Orlando and Johnson for the 9-hitter Mendocino. Mendocino 0 for 2 with a walk in game 1. First pitch, fastball up and out. Good speed on the bases with the freshman Orlando off of second, as well as Johnson off of first. Nascimento steps off the mound, gets a reset of the signs from the catcher Bradley Mills. Nascimento's 1-0. Fastball in the dirt, blocked by Mills. Keeps it in front to halt the runners where they are. But of importance is the 2-0 count. You do not want to load the bases for the top of the order in Parker Wing. Here's the 2-0. Called strike on the outside corner. Gets one back. Now comes set. Nascimento peers over to the second base bag, comes home, and the 2-1 breaking ball low and away. Big 3-1 pitch here. A hitter's count to Mendocino. Here's the 3-1. Called strike on the outside corner. Looking to battle back here. Here's the righty for the Express. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Express lead 3-1. Tying run on first. Payoff pitch. Chopped left side of the infield. It's James charging, and that ball is going to be an infield single. A swinging bunt just 15 feet out down the third base line. Nascimento and James both on a collision course towards it. With the speed of Mendocino, nobody was going to get there either way. And back-to-back 2-out singles in addition to a 2-out walk. We're at the top of the order in Parker Wing with the bases juiced. Go ahead run off first. Tying run off second. First pitch. Breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. Clips the outside corner. Is Nascimento. Peers over at second. Now comes home. 0-1. Curveball. Called strike on the inside corner. 1 pitch away from getting out of a big-time jam. Ethan Marone had an 0-2 count with the bases loaded and 2 outs when he hit his RBI double. Let's see this time what Wing can do. Fouls the 0-2 off. To stay alive. Takes the outside breaking ball, make it 1-2. Here's the offering. Goes back to the curveball. This one chopped to the shortstop. Maybe coming in. Throws across the diamond. Cannot be scooped by the first baseman Camacho. 1 run scores. Another comes home. Hustling all the way home. Kurt Johnson. What a job on the base paths. To turn on the Jets. Running the whole way through with 2 outs. Both runners were off with contact. Tough throw across the diamond for Maybe. Couldn't be scooped by Camacho, and we are all tied 3-3. With Ryan Pelton in the righty's batter's box. Runners on the corners and a called strike. As rather, Johnson was held up. Excuse me, Johnson scored. Menachino held up at third. First a pickoff attempt back over at first. Wing back in standing. Three runs across in the inning. As the 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, low and away, makes it 1-1. Two walks in the inning. Pair of singles and the faithful E6. That tied this game up. The 1-1 is a high fly ball deep to center field. Odom ranging back towards the wall. That'll one-hop the wall. Rounding third on his way home is Wing. He'll score, sliding in safely at third base with the 2 RBI triple. Ryan Pelton put a hammering into that ball to the deepest part of the ballpark in center field. The 3-bagger, 2 RBIs, 5 runs in the inning for the Wildcats. It's 5-3 now. And Ryan Stevens is going to take a slow walk out to the mound. Menachino and Wing both scoring on that one. For Pelton, his first hit of the season. Haven't seen any action quite yet in the Wells bullpen, but Nascimento's pitch count already well over 40. The meeting at the mound breaks. And he's still got a big-time threat in Carter Romanski at the plate. He's the 9th batter to come up this inning after Nascimento had a perfect first frame. 1-1 fastball called strike on the outside corner, the left-handed hitting Romanski. Nascimento comes set. Peers over at third, comes home, breaking ball called strike on the inside corner. Romanski with a ground ball to second base when he came to the plate as the 3rd batter in this game last inning. 8 runs between these two teams on the board since then. As the 0-2 from Nascimento. Fastball just outside. Close pitch, doesn't get the call in the corner. 45th pitch incoming. Here it is, 1-2, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Scooped in the dirt by Mills, throws on to first. Camacho steps on the bag to retire the side, but not before. 5 runs come across in the inning, highlighted by the 2-run triple by Ryan Pelton. And the Wildcats take a 5-3 lead to the bottom of the second. back in the bottom of the second, a 5 spot in the top of the frame for the Wildcats. 5 runs coming across in the inning. A couple came on an error, and then a couple on the 2-run triple from Ryan Pelton, breaking ball away to Mark Mabey, the 9-hitter and shortstop for the Express. And the pitch from Kiefer, fastball low. The Express had a 3 spot in their first inning. The 2 RBI double, I should say, from Jacoby James, in addition to the RBI single from A.J. Campy. But the Express on a 3-0 lead, but backtracked in the next frame by the Wildcats offense. Shot themselves in the foot on a couple of occasions defensively as well. 2-1 to Mabey. Fastball low. Rather, there was a 3-1. And he works a walk. Good sign to lead it off in the second after Max Odom was hit by a pitch to start off this ball game on the first pitch by Kiefer. He now steps up with a man on first with pretty good speed in Mabey. First pitch, fouled back over the netting behind home plate and out of play. Maybe in his first start of the season. As Odom, who had the solo homer last game, scored on the 2 RBI double by James in the first inning today, game 2. Is the 0-1. Another off-speed outside. Thinking about a back pick attempt to first base is Orlando. And the 1-1 count. Kiefer turns and fires. Running off on the pitches. Maybe throw down his second base. Got him. Slid off the bag. Looked like he was initially safe. Extends the feet just a little bit too far. And he is caught trying to take base number 2. So 1 out. Just like that, and a 1-1 count on Odom. Kiefer comes home 1-1. Fastball called strike. Nicks the outside corner to make it 1-2 on Odom. Here's the 1-2 offering. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Orlando for strikeout number 1 on the day. After the leadoff walk to Mabey, he's caught stealing. And then the strikeout of Odom brings up Zach Odom with 2 dead. And the first pitch he sees. Breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. Scrapes the outside part of the zone. And with 2 outs and a 5-3 lead for the Wildcats, an 0-1 count. Another breaking ball. This one skied into shallow center field. It's Johnson who comes in a few steps and makes the play to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down in the inning. Technically speaking, after the walk to Mabey to start off the inning, it's 5-3. Paulie leads as we head to the top of the third on AMCC TV. It's 4-5-6 due up for the Wildcats back at the top of the third on AMCC TV. Digging in is Ethan Walker. First pitch from Nascimento. Swung on and rolled foul towards the third base coach's box to make it 0-1. 5-3 Wildcats on top in the top of the third. There's the 0-1 from Nascimento. Breaking ball shot down the right field line. Giving chases Phillips towards the foul line. He makes the play about 20 feet in front of the foul pole. Hauls it in for out number one. And Walker is retired. Brings up Ethan Marone, who walked and scored in a 5-run second inning for the Wildcats, which included a pair of express errors which led the way. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. Makes it 0-1 on Marone. Also had a 2-run double in game one of the doubleheader. As the 1-1 chases at a breaking ball, nubs it just in front of home plate. Throw on to first from the catcher, Mills. Scooped out of the turf by Camacho for out number two. And 2 quick outs after Nascimento had a perfect first frame, which included, I believe it was 8 pitches, 1 strikeout, and then saw 9 different Wildcats come to the plate in the second. 2 quick outs in the third. Fastball low makes it 1-0 on Brody Liddy, who had a sac fly for his first career RBI his last time to the plate, getting the first start of his collegiate career. Breaking ball outside makes it 2-0. Nascimento kicks and fires 2-0. Breaking ball dropped just upstairs for a called strike. Loopy 12-6 curveball for Nascimento that he pairs with a slurvy-like pitch in addition to the fastball. Here's the 3-0. Fastball called strike on the inside corner to make it 3-1. Gets one back. Here with 2 outs in the third. And Nascimento fires into 3-1. That's shot down the third baseline. James backhands it to third base. Long throw across the diamond. Picked out of the dirt by Camacho in time. Great play on the backhand by James. Equally as good, the reel in at first base by Camacho to snag that baseball and retire the side. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the third for Nascimento. We head to the bottom of the third. 5-3, Wildcats on top. Back in the bottom of the third, Poly up 5-3 here on the AMCC network. And Jacoby James will lead it off for the Express. Aaron Kiefer back out onto work, who after a rough first inning settled down with a 3 up, 3 down second. James with the 2 RBI double in the first, which got the scoring started for the Express. Kiefer's first pitch is a fastball called strike on the outside corner against the right-handed hitting James. who's off to a 12-4-21 start to the season, hitting over 500 and a stellar start for the reigning Conference Player of the Week, as the 0-1 fired in there just outside with the fastball to make it 1-1. James, the sophomore, who earned the starting third base job just a couple of weeks into his freshman campaign last year, with some stellar numbers to start the 2024 season. Here's the 1-1 from Kiefer. Breaking ball off the elbow guard of James. He'll take first base. And that the second hit batsman by Kiefer after he dropped a curveball off the shoulder of Max Odom. Now James gets the same treatment. And the first runner of the third inning is on as Aaron Izquierdo will step in from the right side facing the right-hander in Kiefer, with James dancing off of first base. Already a couple stolen bases on this season as the fastball upstairs at the eyes for Izquierdo makes it 1-0. The Express trailing by 2 after a 5-run second inning for the Wildcats. Kiefer comes set. Creeping off the first base bag is James. And another fastball upstairs makes it 2-0 on the designated hitter Izquierdo. Getting game 2 of this doubleheader off behind the plate. Mills catching this one after Izquierdo caught game 1. The primary backstop for this Express team has been since his freshman year. As the 2-0. Fastball riddled right down the plate for a called strike. Makes it 2-1. Izquierdo with a infield pop-up that was caught just in front of home plate by the catcher Orlando his last time at the dish. Kiefer sets, fires. 2-1 fastball right down Broadway for a called strike. And it's 2-2. James with a healthy leadoff first. Kiefer peers over, now comes set with the black glove at the letters. The 2-2 is grounded foul down the third base line, being scooped up in the third base coach's box by Ryan Stevens with the bare hand grab. So still even at 2, with the Express down by 2 in the bottom of the third. 2-2 offering to Izquierdo. That's shot down the right field line and fair. Cutting it off towards the wall is the right fielder Liddy. Wide turnaround second for James, but he holds up right there. Nice play by Liddy to stop that ball from going all the way to the corner. Shoots it back to the second baseman, hits his cutoff man. And a single for Izquierdo. His first hit of the game sets up runners on first and second for Lance Phillips. First, Ryan Stevens, head coach, third base coach for the Express, is going to call Phillips over towards the third base coach's box. They meet halfway between the coach's box and the batter's box to have a quick conversation. With the tying run now on first base in the form of the speedster Izquierdo. James with speed off second. And Phillips into the box. Here's the first pitch. Fastball upstairs. Goes 1-0 on Phillips, who was 0 for 3 in game 1 of this doubleheader, hitting 300 in a 4-game sample size to begin the season for the Express. As Kiefer sets, peers over at second base to James, and comes home 1-0 fastball. Called strike, nips the outside corner to make it 1-1. A pair of strikeouts, but the 2-hit batsman looming large for Kiefer so far in this ball game. Showing bunt, dropping one down the third base line, and it will roll foul. Phillips with a nice opportunity to bunt, but that one just hit a little too hard, a little too left. Third baseman Pelton scooped it up just a few feet to the right of the chalk. To his right, at least, over at third base. And a 1-2 count now on Phillips. James off second. Is Chiodo off first. Kiefer comes set. Peers over at the base runners. Now comes home with the 1-2. And that one is skied out to deep center field. Johnson ranging back in front of the warning track to his right. Now makes the play. Tagging from second to third. Now holding up is James. He'll skirt back to second base. And doing the same over at first is Chiodo. For out number one on a deep fly ball to center field. Phillips gave it a ride.
Wells College Express, number 9, A.J. Campy.
And that brings up A.J. Campy. The freshman had an RBI single in his first at-bat of the game, which brought home the third run for the Express, who trailed 5-3. Here in the bottom of the third. First pitch to Campy. Breaking ball lifted into left field. Taking a few steps in on it is Marone. James was halfway between second and third. He's got to retreat all the way back to second. And 2 outs on fly balls to the outfield that were just not shallow enough, not deep enough, I should say, for the runners to tag. And now 1 out away from getting out of a first and second no-out situation is Aaron Kiefer. He'll have to go through the junior catcher Bradley Mills. Grounded into a fielder's choice his last time to the plate. Kiefer comes set. Comes home. First pitch rolled off the front foot foul of Mills, and he'll take a slow walk around the batter's box. The hit batsman and the single from James and his Chiodo to start this inning. And now with 2 outs and 0-1 count on Mills. Finally digs back into the right-handed batter's box. Against the righty Kiefer. Covers his mouth with his glove. Now comes to the set position. And comes home with the 0-1. Fastball swung and driven out towards right center field. Coming in on it now is the center fielder Johnson. Shoestring grab in right center. Tracks it down. Very nice play to save extra bases and some runs. But despite 2 runners on with no outs, they're both stranded. 5-3 as we head to the top of the 4th. Paulie on top. Back at the top of the fourth, a 5-3 lead for the Poly Wildcats as 7-8-9 due up in the top of the frame. Starting off with Will Orlando, skies the first pitch foul behind home plate and out of play. Mike Nascimento back out onto work for the Express, who's had 2 3-up, 3-down innings, and then a second inning that got away from him a little bit. Breaking ball, called strike on the inside corner, makes it 0-2 on Orlando. As Nascimento comes home 0-2. Breaking ball, just low for a ball. 4 of the 5 runs coming across in that top of the second were earned. There were 2 errors in the inning. One of them was on Nascimento, as the 1-2 is chopped to the 6-hole. Long throw across the diamond by Maybe, and it's a beauty. In time. Got the nice backhand and got the throw in time just ahead of the speedy Orlando for out number 1. So that's 5 straight retired by Nascimento, including a strikeout directly after the RBI triple by Ryan Pelton, as Nascimento gets a wave and a miss on the half swing from Kurt Johnson, who singled up the middle his last time to the plate. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, called strike on the inside corner. Just like that, quickly 0-2 in favor of Nascimento. As the righty kicks and fires. 0-2. Off speed inside. Ducking out of the way is Johnson. Here's Nascimento's 1-2. Goes back to the breaking ball. That one slips away from him upstairs to even it up. Here's the 2-2. Back to the curveball. Just away. Looking to get Johnson to chase. And the count now full. Already a pair of walks for Nascimento, in addition to 2 hits allowed, as the fastball just upstairs. He was up 0-2 and now falls behind. Full count walk for Kurt Johnson. He's reached base both times today, as Manicino digs in. And just as we talked about last time around, when it came to the bottom of the order with 2 outs, you do not want that dangerous top of the order with Wing, Pelton, and Romanski coming up with runners on base. First pitch, sky down the right field line and foul off the bat of Manicino. He also singled and scored back in the second, coming around to score on the error by Nascimento. Before the 0-1. Pickoff attempt over at first. Almost got him. Back with a dive was Johnson. Camacho thought he applied the tag in time. Just behind. Healthy leadoff first for Johnson. There's the 0-1 to Manicino. Breaking ball chopped on the left side of the infield. It'll be the third baseman, James, who throws across the diamond in time on the chopper for out number 2. Scurrying over to second base is Johnson. So 2 outs and a runner on second for Parker Wing in the leadoff man. Wing reached on an error by the shortstop Maybe and struck out. First pitch. Fastball upstairs. Wing the transfer. 1-0 in there for a called strike to even it up. Transfer from Cazenovia College was shut down after he spent his first 2 collegiate seasons at Onondaga Community College up in Syracuse. 1-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Swings through the curveball in the outer half. One pitch away from escaping another jam. Nascimento comes home. 1-2. Curveball dropped in there. Called strike 3. Third punch out of the day for Nascimento. Escapes the jam with a runner in scoring position unscathed. It's 5-3 Wildcats as we head to the bottom of the 4th on AMCC TV.
Even the one that I accidentally messed up on.
Back in the bottom of the 4th. 8-9, top 2 up for the Express, starting with James Camacho. Aaron Kiefer back out onto work for the Wildcats. 5-3. Paulie on top here in the bottom of the 4th. And the first pitch lined up the middle for a base hit by Camacho. All 3 innings so far for the Express have started with a base runner, including a couple of hit batsmen, and now the single by Camacho, his second hit of the season, and that brings up the 9-man in Mark Maybe, the shortstop, who walked and was caught stealing his last time to the plate. Maybe, the sophomore from Lansing, New York. First pitch he sees from Kiefer is swung on and missed on the fastball in the outer half. Makes it 0-1. As Camacho straying off the first base bag. Kiefer peers over, now comes home 0-1. Showing bunt, dropping one down is Maybe. Right back to the pitcher, Kiefer, who goes the easy way to first base for the out. So Maybe is retired on the sacrifice bunt, but moves Camacho 90 feet up to second base, and you put a runner in scoring position for one of the tops of the order in the AMCC, starting off with Max Odom, who had a solo homer in Game 1 of this doubleheader. He struck out and was hit by a pitch so far here in Game 2, with one out and a runner on second. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Dropped in there for a called strike, nipping the inside corner. In a 2-run game, Odom represents the tying run, as it's 5-3 Wildcats with the lead. No runs have been scored since a 5-run top of the second inning for Paulie. Kiefer comes set, peers over to second base, gives another look. Now comes home with the 0-1. It's a fastball just outside to even it up at 1-1. After the Wildcats beat the Express in Game 1 of this doubleheader 6-3. A lot of offense in the first couple of innings, but pitching was the story after, with both bullpens being straight up dominant, especially the Express only allowed one hit in relief. Here's the 1-1 to Odom. It's another breaking ball. That one outside. Extra look over to second base by the catcher, Orlando, as Camacho was dancing off the bag. He retreats back after a pump fake from the Wildcats backstop. And Odom digs back in from the right side. Here's the 2-1 offering from Kiefer. It's chopped off his front foot and fouled to even it up at 2-2. Max with a hot start to the season. We mentioned the homer in Game 1. He scored 9 runs with 4 RBI in 5 total games on the year. Four stolen bases as well for Max Odom. As Kiefer comes home 2-2. That one is chopped right back to the pitcher, Kiefer. Backhand stabs it, throws over to first base the easy way. Scurrying over to third base is maybe, so a runner 90 feet away with Zach Odom coming to the plate. And now 2 outs. On the ground ball back to the pitcher by Max. And now Zach Odom will dig in. The twin brother, identical twin as well, of Max. Zach, 2 of them hitting back-to-back in the order. Here's the first pitch. That one is laced out to right field, giving chase. And to the left, making his play, it's Liddy to retire the side. Hard hit ball to end off the inning. That's the third outside retired. One man stranded on base after the leadoff single by Camacho. Still 5-3 Wildcats as we head to the top of the fifth. Back in the top of the fifth inning, a 5-3 lead for the Poly Wildcats over the Express. 2-3-4 due up for Poly, starting with Ryan Pelton, who digs in from the right side against Mike Nascimento. Back out onto work for the Express. First pitch, breaking ball low and away to make it 1-0 on Pelton, who had the 2 RBI triple back in the second, which capped off a 5-run second inning for Poly, as that one is lifted out to deep right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Cutting it off in the right center field gap is Odom. Throws on in, hits his cutoff man, and a sharp RBI single off the bat of Pelton. The leadoff single puts the man on for the Wildcats and brings up Carter Romansky. The lefty Romansky digs in against the right-hander Nascimento, who peers over at first. Now comes home, first pitch, fastball away. Romansky 0 for 2 in Game 2 with a punch-out after he reached base all 4 times he came to the plate in Game 1. As the 1-0 gets a called strike on the outside corner in favor of the Express, who trail by 2. They had Camacho with a leadoff single in the bottom of the 4th, but couldn't get anything working. Tying run came to the plate with all three batters following him in the frame, but couldn't push anything across. That included a sacrifice bunt by Maybe to send Camacho over to second base, but then the top of the order could not drive him home. Nascimento's 2-1. Fastball skied left side of the infield. It's James ranging foul ground and cannot make the play, colliding with the shortstop Maybe in left field in foul territory. Both of them are slow to get up. James is popped up, but it's Maybe that's still on the ground. The two collided in foul ground. And the athletic trainer's coming out to take a look. Now Maybe gets up on his feet. Takes a slow walk around. James appears to be all right. Maybe still being checked out, and we'll take a momentarily step aside as the athletic trainers check out Maybe. So Maybe gets taken out of this game by the athletic trainers, and Lance Phillips will come from the outfield to play at third base as Jacoby James moves over to the shortstop position. Chris McLean will go to the outfield as that one is roped into right center field. He's going to have to make a play from the jump. It's going to split the outfielders, roll all the way to the wall. Getting the wave around third, and coming home is Pelton. He scores easily. Sliding in is Carter Romanski at third base with another RBI extra base hit. This one a triple to extend the lead to 7-3 in favor of the Wildcats. Rather, 6-3 in favor of the Wildcats as Pelton came in to score. Romansky up at third. And Ethan Walker into the righty's batter's box. First pitch, breaking ball slips out of Nascimento's hands. Goes over the head of the right-handed hitting Walker, who's 0 for 2 on the day. With a runner 90 feet away for the Express. Here's the 1-0. Fastball just outside. Makes it 2-0. Walker with a single and a run in game 1 of the doubleheader, which the Wildcats took by this score, 6-3. 2-0's fouled off behind the backstop. Nascimento with 3 of the 4 innings that he's pitched so far have been either one base runner or none. 2 3-up, 3-down innings. There's another breaking ball outside, makes it 3-1. And then a second inning where 5 runs came across, including a pair of walks, pair of errors. Didn't help his case, but now back-to-back hits, including the RBI triple by Romansky to start off in the 5th. 3-1 coming from Nascimento. Here it is. Fastball just outside for a ball and another walk. First 3 base runners of the inning have reached for Pauly. And that is the 3rd walk allowed by Nascimento. Ryan Stevens is going to take this slow walk out to the mound. There's a pitcher currently warming up in the bullpen for the Express. We'll see if that's it for Nascimento. No signal yet. Based on early conversations, doesn't look like it will be, and it won't, as Stevens will make his way back to the dugout. And Nascimento back onto the mound. Throwing 82 pitches so far as Ethan Marone steps up. 0 for 1, also walked and scored a run. First pitch, fastball inside. Nascimento comes set with runners on the corners. Comes home. Fastball called strike on the outside. First a pickoff attempt back over at first. Just in time diving back is Walker, who's got a good amount of speed on the base paths. We'll see if Ludden sends him in motion with runners on the corners and no outs. First the 1-1. Rolled on the left side, on the right side of the infield. It's Odom at second base who picks it up. Goes the easy way to first base for the out. Good secondary lead for Walker. He advances him to second, and coming home was Romansky on the ground out. So that makes it 7-3 as the second run of the inning comes across for Pauly. First pitch to Brody Liddy is swung on and missed for strike 1. Liddy in his first collegiate game had a sac fly for an RBI his first time to the plate. Ground out in his last, shows bunt, drops one down. It's fouled towards where the Wells on deck circle would be. And it's 0-2. Now Nascimento comes set. Comes home, the 0-2. Fastball just away. The Express with a hot start to this game with the bats. 8 players came to the plate in inning number 1. 3 runs pushed across, highlighted by the 2-run double from James and the RBI single from Campy is the 0-2 breaking ball away. And then the bats have been slow to get hot since then. Only 2 hits since the first inning. A single from Izquierdo, single from Camacho, and they cannot be pushed around the base paths. Here's Nascimento's 1-2. The fastball is hammered out to deep left field. Ranging back towards the wall is Campy. That'll roll off the wall. Scoring easily from second is Walker. Being held up at second is Liddy with an RBI double. 8-3. Wildcats on top on the first hit of the young career of Liddy. Adds to the lead in a big-time fashion as Walker scores. And that is all she wrote for Nascimento. 8 runs across, 7 of them earned. New pitcher coming on for Wells when we come back. The new pitcher for the Express is Noah Warner, the freshman from Canisteo, New York, who's pitched in 2 games of relief, 2.1 total innings, and has not allowed a hit or a run so far this season. Digging into the right-handed batter's box is Will Orlando. First pitch he sees is a fastball just outside for a ball with a runner on second base for the Wildcats, who lead 8-3 after what's been a dominant start to the top of the 5th. Here's the 1-0 to Orlando, another fastball up and away. Makes it 2-0. A single, RBI triple, walk, ground out, RBI double is what the 5th inning has looked like offensively for the Wildcats. Here's the 2-0 from Warner. Is waved on and missed. On the outside part of the plate. Makes it 2-1. Orlando 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored on the day for Paulie. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball just low for a ball. Warner has walked 4 between his 2 outings. which came against Clark Summit in the season opener and then against SUNY Canton in Game 1 of their doubleheader a week ago today, last Saturday, as the 3-1. Laced up the middle for a base hit. Getting the wave around third is Liddy. On his horse, throw from Odom in center field is cut off. An RBI single for Will Orlando extends the lead 9-3, a 6-run lead for the Wildcats. That run charged to Mike Nascimento. His line is now closed with 9 runs allowed, 8 of which were earned. And the 8-hitter in Kurt Johnson steps up to the plate. Warner's first pitch to Johnson, fastball, nips the low inside corner for a called strike. With good speed over at first and Orlando dancing off the bag, Warner takes a peek over at first, now comes set and comes home. And that one is lifted out to deep right field. Taking a few steps back is McLean. Ranges over a few steps to his left and makes the play for out number 2. And Menachino will dig in. 1 for 2 on the day. Single and a run scored for the freshman. First pitch he sees, fastball called strike on the inside corner to the Mount Sinai, New York native out in Long Island. Was Long Island Elk County in 2021 as a sophomore. As the 0-1 breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike at the bottom of the zone to make it 0-2 with 2 outs. And a runner on first, 6-run lead for the Wildcats in the top of the 5th. 0-2. Breaking ball checked his swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Sweeping breaking ball for the strikeout and preventing any further damage after coming into this game is Warner, as we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. 4 runs across in the inning for the Wildcats. It's a 9-3 game. Back in the bottom of the 5th, 9-3 the lead for the Poly Wildcats after 4 runs coming across in the top of the frame, highlighted by the RBI triple from Carter Romansky, RBI single from Orlando, and RBI double from Brody Liddy. As it'll be 3-4-5 due up for the Express, starting off with Jacoby James, who's 1 for 1 on the day with a 2-run double in addition to being hit by a pitch back in the 3rd. First pitch from Kiefer, who's back out onto the mound for his 5th inning of work, is a fastball just outside for a ball to make it 1-0 on the reigning AMCC Player of the Week. Here's the 1-0. Fastball laced down the left field line and foul. Skipping a few feet to the left of the chalk. And scurrying all the way down the line towards the foul pole to make it 1-1 on James, who is 12 for 21 to start off his season, hitting over 500, and a spectacular start for the sophomore in 2024. As the 1-1 is skied down the right field line in foul ground, giving chase and a shoestring grab for Liddy in foul territory, about 20 feet in front of the foul pole, just in front of the fence. That skids out down the line for out number 1, and a very nice play to bring up Aaron Izquierdo. Izquierdo 1 for 2 with a single in this one as the designated hitter. The Express trailing by 6 with 1 out. First pitch to Izquierdo. Breaking ball low and away. Wells with 3 runs in the first. The 2-run double by James. The RBI single by Campy. But since then, only 2 hits for the Express. The bats have been silent as the 1-0 is lined through the 6 hole on the left side of the infield for a single. It's the second hit of the day for Izquierdo. And we mentioned the lack of hits. Now, 2 of the 6 hits on the day for Wells have come off the bat of Izquierdo. Here's Lance Phillips digging in from the right side. Kiefer sets, peers over to first base, and Izquierdo comes home with the first pitch. It's a breaking ball for a called strike. 0-1 the count on Phillips. After maybe came out of this game, Phillips moved from right field to third base. Is the 0-1. He's fouled down the right field line, out of play. Makes it 0-2. Maybe came out of the game after colliding with Jacoby James on a pop-up in foul territory down the left field line. Maybe came out of this game with the athletic trainers. As the 0-2 is slashed out to deep left field. That will one-hop the wall, but foul. Just to the left of the chalk. So it'll stay 0-2 on Phillips, who singled back in the first inning, an inning where the Express had 4 hits. Now only a pair since then. Count remains 0-2 as Kiefer peeks over at first, comes home, and the 0-2 is just outside with the fastball. Very solid outing so far for Kiefer, with a strikeout and 3 runs allowed through 4 1/3. Here's the 1-2, skied out to right center field. Giving chase to the center fielder Johnson, calls off the right fielder Liddy to make the play. Retreating back to first base is Izquierdo. Out number 2.
AJ's next.
That'll bring up A.J. Campy.
Wells Express, number 9, A.J. Campy.
Campy, the left fielder, who had his first career RBI single back in the first. 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch he sees is a breaking ball, called strike on the outside corner. As Kiefer comes set, Izquierdo, solid lead off of first. With the Express down by 6, here's the 1-0. It's fouled off the backstop. On the first base side, next to the Wells dugout. And it goes 0-2. Kiefer, who's dominated on the bump since the first inning, where he allowed 3 of the Express runs, all 3 of them, looks to continue that dominance. Here's the 0-2, and getting a piece of it is Campy to stay alive. Orlando couldn't hold it for the 3rd strike. And the 0-2 again. Fastball lashed foul down the left field line. And out of play. So he'll stay right there. 3 straight foul balls coming from Campy. The Express down 9-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. And the 0-2 is slashed out to deep center field. Giving chases Johnson. He's not going to get there. Reaches the wall. Karams off the bottom of the wall. Getting the wave around third is Izquierdo. Cut off. Goes to shortstop. And Izquierdo scores easily. On the RBI double from A.J. Campy. Cuts the deficit to 9-4. First runs and first extra base hit since the first inning for the Express as Bradley Mills steps up with 2 dead and a runner on second base in scoring position in Campy. Second RBI hit of the day for the freshman, getting his second career start. First multi-hit and multi-RBI performance. Mills 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded into a fielder's choice. Also flied out to center back in the 4th. Here's the 0-2. Grounded on the right side of the infield, right to the second baseman, Menachio, who picks it up, throws onto first for the out. 1 run comes across in the inning on the RBI double by Aaron Izquierdo. We head to the top of the 6th here on AMCC TV. Back in the top of the 6th after the Express got 1 run back in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's currently 9-4. Pauley on top with a 5-run lead. The sole run beyond the first inning for the Express coming by way of the RBI double by Campy, as this one is blasted out to the right center field gap by Wing and go all the way to the wall before being played off the wall by Odom. Up at second base with his stand-up double is Wing. After 8 different Wildcats came to the plate in the 5th inning, and 4 runs came across, highlighted by the RBI triple by Carter Romanski. Offensive display late in this game after the first pitch breaking ball is outside to Ryan Pelton. Perry comes set, checks the runner at second, comes home, and this one is sky to deep center field. Odom ranging back in front of the warning track. He makes the play. Tagging from second to third is Wing. He'll get there easily. Perry is the new pitcher from Dryden, New York. Bradley Perry pitching in one game so far this season. It came against Elmira, 3 innings of relief, 3 hits, 2 runs, with a pair of walks and 1 strikeout. The junior with 38.1 career innings on the mound. As with 1 out, stepping into the batter's box is Romansky. He takes the first pitch, breaking ball inside. Romansky with that RBI triple back in the 3rd. And this one is roped into right field. That'll get down for a base hit, tapping on home plate. And coming home easily is Wing. So another RBI hit on the day for Romansky. Had an RBI double in game 1, RBI triple in game 2, and an RBI single. And 10-4, Wildcats with the lead here on the top of the 6th. First pitch is fouled back off the bat of Walker. So it goes 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Big swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Helmet almost coming off of Walker as he sat back on it, but count goes 0-2. Perry sets, fires. Breaking ball looped foul down the right field line over the Express dugout on the first base side. Stays 0-2 with Romansky off first. Here it is. Breaking ball, Josh Lowe. Perry pitched in 8 games last season, 14 1/3 innings, with a 5.02 ERA. There's the 1-2. Skied on the right side of the infield. Foul ground. Ranging to his right is Camacho in front of the dugout. Makes the play for out number 2. Hauls in the foul pop-up. And Ethan Marone will step up. 0 for 2 with a walk on the day. With action in the Wells bullpen, first pitch nips the inside corner for a called strike. To Marone. Here's the 0-1. Back to the breaking ball. Looped into shallow center. Coming in is Odom to make the play and retire the side. One more run comes across on the RBI single from Carter Romansky. 10-4. Pauly on top as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Back in the bottom of the 6th inning, 10-4 the score with SUNY Poly on top of the Express. 8-9 top due up for Wells. And there's going to be a new pitcher on the mound for Poly. It's Ryan Secor, making his first appearance of the season. Pitched 13.2 innings last season with a 6.59 ERA. First pitch is fouled off the backstop by James Camacho, who's 1 for 2 with a single. He led off the 4th inning with a single, made it all the way to third base before he was stranded, including being bunted over to second base by McLean. A Secor comes set, fires home the 0-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Caught off balance on the off speed. Secor with 34 total career innings. He started 8 games for the Wildcats while pitching in 3 out of the bullpen in his career. As this one shot foul down the right field line out of play to stay 0-2. A career 5.56 ERA, starting 4 games in each of the past 2 seasons for the junior from Otsego, New York. Is the 0-2. Breaking ball just outside to Camacho. Now Secor comes set, comes home, and this one skied on the right side of the infield. Foul ground in front of the Wells dugout, in fair ground now ranging over. Just inside of the chalk to make the play is Romanski for out number 1. And Chris McLean will step up to the plate. With 1 out, first pitch to McLean, dropped in there for a called strike on the breaking ball. McLean came into this game in the 5th inning for Mark Mabee, who exited after colliding with Jacoby James down the third base line on a foul pop-up. Swinging and missing through the 0-1 is McLean, make it 0-2. As Secor comes set, comes home, fastball low and away. Maybe appeared to be all right walking off the field with the trainers. And McLean entered the game as Phillips moved to the infield to take his spot. 1-2 breaking ball in the dirt. Secor, a power pitcher, listed at 6'2", 225 for the right-hander, who was a first-team All-Star at Sydney High School. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball low and away. And after being ahead 0-2 for Secor, it's now full. Here's the payoff. Fouled off of the backstop. And it'll stay right there. McLean from Macedon, New York, attended Penfield High School. And works a walk after he was down 0-2, battles all the way back to take a free base, and Max Odom will step up. Express down by 6 in the bottom of the 6th of a 7-inning game here in Game 2 of the doubleheader after Wells dropped Game 1 6-3. First pitch to Odom, breaking ball in the dirt. Back pick attempt over at first base. McLean just barely back in time. In both situations, Wells was on top or was able to tie the game up early. We were all tied at 2-2 in Game 1, and then Wells had a 3-0 lead in Game 2 after they plated 3 runs in the first. 1-0, low and away. On the breaking ball from Secor. Odom pretty quiet in this game so far. A strikeout, a ground out, and was hit by a pitch in the first. Came around to score a run on the James 2-run double. There's the 2-0. Shot down the line. Backhand Pelton at third. On to second for one. On to first. Not in time, as that one will trickle all the way to the fence. Odom stays right there, but a very nice play over at third by Pelton to backhand that ball. And they'll say that ball actually went out of play, it looked like, so they'll award they'll award Odom second base. So a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And Zach Odom steps up. Secor comes set. Comes home. Slashed out to right field and foul. Down the line over the Express dugout on the first base side. Zach with a single and a run scored back in the first. Pair of fly balls to the outfield since then. Only 1 hit between the 2 games on the day for Zach. Going to change that here. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball runs inside and evens it up. Now coming set, Secor comes home. The 1-1. Fouled down the right field line and out of play. To make it 1-2. Looking to strand that runner in scoring position in McLean, who walked. Rather, it's Odom who took McLean's spot on the fielder's choice. Off of second with 1-2. Breaking ball shot into right field. That's down for a base hit. Getting the wave around third is Odom. Throw goes into second base. And an RBI single for Zach Odom. Drives home his twin brother and cuts the deficit to 5. It's 10-5 in the bottom of the 6th. And that brings up Jacoby James, who's been one of the hottest hitters in the conference to start this season. 2 for 3 with a double in Game 1 and a 2 RBI double in the first inning of this ball game. First pitch to James. Breaking ball low and away. Peeking over at first base in Zach Odom, who we know has got wheels on the bases, and a pickoff attempt back over at first. He's back with a dive. Zach with 3 stolen bases on the season already. After he stole 13 bags last season. 1-0 in there for a called strike, nipping the inside corner to James. Evens it up at 1-1. Secor peers in. Peeks at first. Now comes home the 1-1. Breaking ball, check swing. And didn't go around. So makes it 2-1. Trying to catch James chasing on the breaking ball low and away. With Izquierdo waiting in the on-deck circle. He's 2 for 3 on the day. The sole Express player with more than 1 hit. As the 2-1 fastball just upstairs, 3-1 now to James. He was hit by a pitch back in the third. So he's reached base twice today. Secor. Roxon delivers. 3-1. Swung on and fouled down the right field line out of play. James from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the sophomore. Currently sitting at third in the conference in batting average, fourth in RBIs. After he was named the AMCC Player of the Week last week. And with a chance to keep the Express in this game as he digs back into the right-handed batter's box. 2 outs, runner on first. 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch is lined right to the shortstop wing, who picks up on a hop, throws across the diamond, scooped by Romanski to retire this side. 1 hit, 1 left, 1 run in the inning, coming on the RBI single by Zach Odom as we head to the top of the 7th. Wells with 3 outs left on the defensive and offensive side as we head to the 7th on AMCC TV. Back in the top of the 7th of a 7-inning game of Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Express and the Wildcats. 10-5, Paulie on top in the top of the 7th, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Express, making his collegiate debut. It's Brady Roberts, the freshman from Saranac Lake, New York, and he'll face 6, 7, 8 of the Wildcats order, starting off with Brody Liddy, the freshman right fielder. And the first pitch to Liddy is a fastball that is smoked down the right field line. Foul ground. Giving chase is the first baseman, Camacho. And he makes the catch in front of the fence, ranging down the line. Beautiful over-the-shoulder grab by Camacho. In foul ground in the corner for out number 1. And that brings up Will Orlando. In from the right side, first pitch Orlando sees is a breaking ball low and away. Orlando 1 for 2 with a walk, run scored, RBI in his first game at the collegiate level for the freshman. Fastball just outside for a called strike. The last 4 hitters in the order for the Wildcats are freshmen. And Coach Stevens brings on his own freshman out of the bullpen in Ceramic to make in Roberts to make his debut. 1-1 is fouled off, makes it 1-2 on Orlando. Talked about it earlier, but a big loss at the catcher position for Poly this past year. Breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike after the Wildcats lost their all-conference catcher in Alex Bonacci, who hit .417 last year. But graduating, moving on, and 2 freshmen stepping up for the Wildcats to breaking ball outside makes it 3-2. Roberts kicks in, fires, 3-2 offering. Breaking ball, weakly hit towards the second base position in Odom. And it's going to be the first baseman ranging over to make the play in Camacho. Throws over to first, not in time. With the pitcher Roberts covering. Looked like Odom's ball the entire way through. But Camacho drifts off the bag. Makes the play, and Roberts couldn't get over there quick enough to beat the speedy Orlando. That goes as an infield single. Second hit of the day for Orlando, a multi-hit game in his college debut. And Kurt Johnson will step up to the plate, another freshman. Johnson playing in his second game after he had his first hit in the first inning. First pitch is a ball. Singleton scored a run in the second inning, Johnson did. As the 1-0. Breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. Coming set now. Roberts, but not before pickoff attempt over at first, where Orlando just back in time with the dive. Peering over now, coming set. Firing home the 1-1, breaking ball low and away. So it goes 2-1 on Johnson. Creeping off of first base. Orlando. As the 2-1 swung on and missed on the inside part of the zone. Evens it up at 2. Roberts deals the 2-2. Just outside, and it's full. With a runner on first and 1 out. 10-5, Wildcats on top. Express will have one more chance with the bats. Coming in the bottom of the frame as the breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike in strike 3. First collegiate strikeout for Roberts as Johnson goes down looking. And now 2 outs in the 7th. Of the 7-inning game. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Fastball in the dirt blocked by Mills. Wells looking to take as much as they can get in the bottom of the frame. After dropping game 1 6-3, pickoff attempt over at first, and Orlando back with a dive. No tag applied by Camacho. As Roberts peers over, now comes home with the breaking ball low and away to make it 2-0. Is Roberts. 2-0 on the way. And outside to make it 3-0. A quick fly ball made a nice play down the first base line. Camacho on it for out number 1 As that one dialed in there for a called strike to make it 3-1. Then an infield single and a strikeout. So some help from the defense. And then not so much on the infield single. As the 3-1 is going to go all the way to the backstop on the fastball outside. Moving up a station regardless is Orlando. And that'll bring up Parker Wing. It's the 5th walk allowed by Express pitching on the day. In game 2, I should say. 6 2/3 innings in. Wing digs in from the right side. First pitch he sees is a breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. Oh, 1 back to the breaking ball. This one sky down the right field line. In foul ground, Camacho will give chase, but it will bounce out of play over the fence. Makes it 0-2. With runners on first and second and 2 outs. Looking to get out of the jam is Roberts. Without any further damage being done. 0-2. Breaking ball, fouled off. Got a piece on it. Off the backstop. And it stays right there. Oh, 2 again. Breaking ball, swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 runners left on. Nothing else working for the Wildcats in the top of the 7th. We'll head to the bottom of the frame as the Express need 5 to tie and 6 to win it in the last frame. Well, the Express will need 5 runs to tie it and send us to extras, 6 to win it in the bottom of the 7th. Poly leads 10-5. Back on the AMCC network. First pitch is a breaking ball called a strike on the inside corner against Aaron Izquierdo, who leads it off as Ryan Secor back out onto the mound for the Wildcats. Secor comes home with the 1-0 and it's a fastball low. Bouncing a couple feet ahead of the plate in the turf. Izquierdo 2 for 3 on the day. The sole Express player with more than 1 hit. And it's a breaking ball inside. Some chin music up towards Izquierdo. Makes it 3-0. And here comes the 3-0 offering from Secor. It's a fastball bounce in the dirt. Rather, that'll make it 3-1. Secor comes set. Roxy delivers. Now the 3-1. Big swing and a miss. Fastball at the letters. Izquierdo pulls the trigger, and it's now full. Secor comes home. Now the payoff. Breaking ball low. And a walk for Izquierdo, who's reached base 3 times today. And we'll see a pinch hitter coming to the plate for Lance Phillips after Nick Monique came into the field for Phillips last inning. Now stepping up to the plate is Jonathan Haynes. And he's the pinch hitter. Haynes was a member of the starting rotation last year for the Express. And member of the rotation again this year. We'll see if he'll get the start tomorrow or if it's Mason Smith. Xander Johnson started game 1 today. Nascimento in game 2. Swing and a miss on the first pitch by Haynes. The Express, next time they'll play is Wednesday against Hobart in a crucial midweek game. So we'll see who gets the nod there before the spring break trip to Myrtle Beach for Wells. 0-1 to Haynes. Breaking ball, big swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Seven games next week in Myrtle Beach for the Express. Revere, Geneva, Clark Summit, and Olivet College. As a pickoff attempt at first base goes over the head of the first baseman, Romansky. Rolls all the way down the line. Stepping up 1 base is Izquierdo. He'll make it to second. Quick on his feet was the right fielder Liddy to make it to that ball before rolling into the corner. Yeah, Secor peers in. After the error allows Izquierdo to move up a station. Here's the 0-2. Big swing and a miss from Haynes on the off-speed. He goes down swinging. First strikeout for Secor in relief. And 1 out here in the 7th. Brings up A.J. Campy.
Wells, number 19, A.J. Campy.
Campy, the freshman, with an RBI double and an RBI single in this game as part of a 2-for-3 performance. Here's the first pitch he sees. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Orlando. To go 1-0. As Secor sets. Peers over to second base, now comes home with the 1-0. And low for a ball on the off-speed. Campy's been an underclassman that has really impressed in the preseason for this Express team. The sole freshman in the starting lineup today. And he's had himself a big-time performance to back it up. 2-0. Breaking ball skied out to deep right field. Ranging back now, ranging a few steps in is Liddy to make the play. Izquierdo, no tag from second to third. And down to their final out in this one are the Express. And we'll see a pinch hitter for the Express as Alan Compress will come into this game. Compress, the sophomore from Maywood, New York. He's come in as a pinch hitter in 2 games this season. Gotten 2 at-bats, and he's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. Hoping to be a spark yet again. Attended Hackensack High School. As the first pitch he sees. Breaking ball low and away, makes it 1-0. He'll come in for Mills as a pinch hitter. Mills goes over 3 in his second game started of the season. As the 1-0 to Compress. Swung on and fouled down the right field line over the Wells dugout, out of play. So a 1-1 count on Compress. Who had 267 and 30 at-bats last year. First a pickoff attempt over at first. Nobody's there, no throw. Over to the second base bag. And now Secor will peer in. He comes set. And comes home with the 1-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And the Express are down to their final strike. One, two outs in the bottom of the seventh in a 7-inning game in game 2 of the doubleheader. And a fastball laced down the line and fair. Just inside of the chalk. Extra bases potentially. Getting held up at first is Compress. In safely at home with that without a throw is Izquierdo. Wells cuts the deficit to 4. And Alan Compress with 3 pinch hit opportunities this season. And he's gone 3 for 3 with a pair of extra base hits and an RBI as James Camacho will dig in. Izquierdo scores for the second time today. Camacho's got a single as well as the first pitch he sees. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. Runners off on the pitch, and Compress will swipe second base. Didn't even get a look from Secor and says, I'll take that. 0-1 on Camacho, though, with 2 outs. And here's the pitch. Fastball just upstairs to make it 1-1. Secor now sets, rocks, fires. Fastball low. Makes it 2-1. Chris McLean in the on-deck circle. Walked and scored his sole time to the plate today, coming in as a defensive replacement. As the 2-1 breaking ball away makes it 3-1. We've already seen some big-time innings in this game. A 5 spot on the Pauly side. 3 spot on the Wells side. Another 4 spot on the Pauly side. And now you got runners on first and second. And looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter. And in the midst of that, Ludden is going to take a stroll out to the mound to talk things over with his pitcher. Zach Young will be the pinch hitter.
21 for 11.
And then they will bring in a pinch runner as well. Calindres, the senior, will come in. And you bring in Zach Young, who's your sole... one of your 2 starters, I should say, not in the lineup here in Game 2. From Game 1 and your typical starters. He had a double in Game 1 today. Young had an RBI double versus Clark Summit in the season opener. And now up in a big-time pinch hit opportunity. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. And the first pitch to Young is a fastball up and in. Here's the 1-0. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. Even at 1 now on Young. The sophomore from Binghamton, who's been a power hitter throughout the course of his career. 2 homers as a freshman last year, and he takes a called strike on the outside corner. And for the second time in a matter of moments, the Express down to their final strike with 2 runners on, 2 outs. Secor comes home 1-2. Breaking ball low and away, evens it up. Top of the order on deck. And Max Odom. There's the 2-2. Fastball low and in. Pickoff attempt at second base on the back pick by Orlando. Trying to catch Compress sleeping. Unsuccessful. You got the tying run in the on-deck circle in Odom. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Goes chasing on the inside fastball at the hands. And the Wildcats will take the doubleheader and the sweep. 10-6 in Game 2. Wells threatening on multiple occasions, but tremendous job, especially by the Wildcats bats. And some days highlighted by a 2-hit, 2 RBI day for Ryan Pelton, a 2-hit, 3 RBI day for Carter Romansky, including a triple, and that's just in Game 2. But the Wildcats take Game 1 6-3, Game 2 10-3, and we will be back tomorrow for the series finale with first pitch scheduled at noon right here on AMCC TV between the Express and the Wildcats. I'm Eli Fishman. Thank you so much for tuning in throughout the course of the day. Again, we'll be back at noon tomorrow. We hope to see you then, and thank you so much for tuning in.